Stop now. Stop everything you are doing. Because what we are going to reveal in the next few minutes may be the difference between you remaining trapped in a cycle of exhaustion that no doctor can explain, or finally understanding why your body hurts, why your chest feels heavy, why there are nights when you wake up at 3 in the morning with a racing heart for no reason at all. There is an energetic trap closing around millions of souls at this exact moment. And the most dangerous thing is that it does not look like a trap. It looks like your routine. It looks like your fatigue. It looks like that voice that says, maybe I'm just exhausted, maybe I just need to rest. But we are here to tell you, it is not fatigue. It is capture. It is not burnout. It is extraction. We are the Arcturian Council of Light, and we speak through this frequency to reach you, beloved cosmic family, at this critical moment in the earthly timeline. We see you. We see the pressure in the center of your chest. We see the high-pitched ringing in your ears that appears out of nowhere and disappears without explanation. We see the joint pains that migrate through the body as if something were being reconfigured inside. And we also see the invisible weight you carry on your shoulders, that feeling of being pressed by a force you cannot name. Today we are going to reveal what is behind this. And more importantly, we are going to show how you can free yourself from this trap before it is complete, because there is a point of no return approaching, and those who do not wake up in time will remain trapped in an energetic loop that can last years, decades, entire lifetimes. Listen carefully, because what you are going to hear now is not in any medical book, it is not being taught in any university, and it is certainly not being revealed by the control systems that want to keep you exactly where you are. Sleepwalking, alive but not awake, present but not conscious. The energetic trap of which we speak has a name. It is called amplified scarcity vibration. And it is not accidental. It was designed, calibrated, transmitted through specific frequencies that interact directly with your personal electromagnetic field, that which some call the aura, but which is actually your light body, the non-physical extension of your incarnated consciousness. Let us be direct. You are being bombarded. Not by ordinary radio waves, not by cell phone signals alone, but by a synthetic frequency grid that was overlaid upon the natural crystalline grid of the Earth. This synthetic grid emits a constant pulse, a pulse that resonates at the exact frequency of chronic fear, of survival anxiety, of the feeling of never being enough. And when your energetic field enters into resonance with this frequency, even for seconds, you open a door through which your vital energy can be drained. It is not depression, it is drainage, it is not anxiety, it is interference, it is not insomnia, it is disruption of your cosmic circadian rhythm. And here is what makes this trap so effective. It uses your own emotions as fuel. Every time you feel anger and do not transmute it, it remains stored in your energetic liver. Every time you feel fear and do not face it, it crystallizes in your solar plexus. Every time you feel sadness and do not release it, it accumulates in your subtle lungs. And all these dense, accumulated emotions create a specific vibratory signature. A signature that says, I am available, I am open, you can extract from me. And then the extraction happens, not through visible machines, but through invisible energetic connections that operate in dimensions that your physical eyes cannot see. You wake up tired, even having slept 8 hours. You feel empty, even having eaten well. You feel alone, even being surrounded by people, because the energy that should be nourishing your soul is being diverted, redirected, harvested. We know this may sound alarming, and it should sound so because it is alarming, but we have not come here to frighten you. We have come to empower you, because you, Starseed, are not a helpless victim in this process. You are a sovereign being with capabilities that were deliberately hidden from you, and one of these capabilities is your ability to close these energetic doors, to cut these invisible threads, to reclaim your vital energy and seal it within a field of protection that no synthetic frequency can penetrate. But first, you need to understand how you arrived here, how you ended up in this trap without noticing. Have you ever felt that something inside you does not fit in this world, as if your soul knew a truth that your mind still cannot name? It is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is a sign. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel this and why this sensation has been intensifying. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot see. It involves your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. That was why I wrote The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. This book is a map that shows who is playing and the rules they never told you. The link is in the first comment of the channel. But I warn you, this content challenges narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something inside you recognizes this, write in the comments a single word: awake. The trap began with an agreement you do not remember having made. When you were born into this three-dimensional plane, you passed through what we call the veil of forgetfulness. This veil was necessary so that you could have a genuine human experience, but it also had a side effect. You forgot who you truly are, you forgot where you came from, you forgot your connection to the source, and in this forgetfulness you became vulnerable to programming. The programming began early. Through education you learned that you are separate from nature, separate from others, separate from God. Through the media you learned that you are insufficient, that you need more money, more status, more external validation. Through institutional religion you learned that you are a sinner, that you were born broken, that you need salvation outside of yourself. And each of these beliefs, beloved cosmic family, is an anchor that keeps your vibrational frequency low, because when you believe you are separate, you live in fear. When you believe you are insufficient, you live in scarcity. When you believe you are a sinner, you live in guilt. And fear, scarcity, and guilt are the three densest frequencies a human being can emit. They are also the three frequencies that feed the synthetic grid of control. Think about it for a moment. If there were entities, whether they be of an interdimensional extraterrestrial nature or simply humans with occult knowledge, that fed on dense emotional energy, what would be the most efficient way to ensure a constant supply? You would create a system that generated fear continuously, a system that kept people in a constant state of survival, never reaching the state of true prosperity. A system that made them believe they are small, powerless, dependent. And then you would watch the harvest happen, automatically, daily, through every news broadcast that spreads terror, through every bill that does not balance at the end of the month, through every relationship that ends in pain, through every medical diagnosis that takes away hope, through every war, every crisis, every planned economic collapse. It is not chaos, it is cultivation. It is not coincidence, it is coordination. It is not natural evolution, it is directed manipulation. And your body knows it. Your cells know it. Your spiritual DNA, those 12 strands that were deactivated millennia ago, is trying to reactivate now. That is why you feel these strange pains. That is why sometimes you feel as if electricity were running through your veins. That is why you have vivid dreams, memories that are not yours, knowledge that you never studied but somehow recognize. The Earth is passing through a massive recalibration. The planetary crystalline grid is being reactivated. The photonic flow of galactic light is increasing in intensity every day, and this means that the base frequency of the planet is rising. It is leaving the third density and beginning to anchor the fifth density. And you, as an incarnated being on this planet, are being invited to make this transition along with Gaia. But here is the challenge. Your consciousness is ready, but your physical body is struggling, because your body was programmed to operate in third density. It was fed with third density food. It was conditioned with third density thoughts. It was traumatized with third density experiences. And now, while the planetary frequency rises, your body is trying to adjust. It is as if you had lived your entire life at low altitude and were suddenly transported to the top of a mountain. You would be out of breath, dizzy, disoriented. Not because something is wrong with you, but because the environment has changed and your biological system needs to adapt. This adaptation is what is causing the symptoms you feel. The extreme fatigue is your body recalibrating your mitochondria to process photonic light instead of just glucose. The joint pains are your crystalline skeleton being reactivated. The ringing in the ears is your pineal gland decalcifying and beginning to pick up higher frequencies. The heart palpitations are your physical heart synchronizing with your energetic heart. It is not disease, It is an upgrade. It is not degeneration. It is regeneration. It is not collapse. It is expansion. But the energetic trap of which we speak is trying to prevent this process. It is trying to keep you in the old frequency. Because if you complete this transition, if you fully anchor fifth density consciousness in your physical body, you will become impossible to control. You will see through the illusions, you will feel the manipulations, you will recognize the lies instantly because your intuition will be operating at full capacity. And this, starseeds, is what the controllers fear most. Not your anger, not your rebellion, but your awakening. Because once you truly awake, you cannot be put back to sleep. Once you see, you cannot unsee. Once you know, you cannot unlearn. So they intensify the trap. They increase the fear in the media. They create more scarcity in the economy. They generate more division in society. They inject more toxins into the food, more chemicals into the water, more disruptive frequencies into the air. Everything designed to keep your vibration low. Everything calibrated to prevent your ascension. But here is what they did not expect. You are many, millions of you, scattered across the entire planet, and you are waking up. Not because someone ordered it, but because the light itself is calling you back home, back to the remembrance of who you truly are. And when you remember, when you recognize that you are multidimensional beings having a temporary human experience, not humans trying to have a spiritual experience, everything changes. The trap loses power because you stop feeding it with your attention, with your fear, with your energy. Have you ever felt that there is an invisible battle happening around you? A war that does not involve physical weapons, but that is affecting your peace, your sleep, your vitality? It is not paranoia. It is perception. What is occurring in the energetic planes at this moment explains why you feel different, why everything seems to be accelerating, why the old structures of your life are crumbling without you understanding exactly why. There is a knowledge that was kept hidden on purpose, a knowledge about how your consciousness works and how it can be influenced. That was why I channeled the spiritual secret behind your consciousness. This book exposes the mechanisms that operate behind the scenes of your reality. The link is pinned in the first comment. But I need to be honest. This material challenges old power structures, and we do not know how long it will remain accessible. If your soul is resonating with this message, do not hesitate. And if you already know that you are ready for this truth, leave in the comments just one word: awake. Now we are going to deliver to you the activation codes, the practical tools that you can use immediately to free yourself from this energetic trap and seal your field against future invasions. But first, you need to make a conscious choice, because knowledge without application is merely entertainment, and we are not here to entertain you, we are here to free you. So ask yourself now, are you ready to take total responsibility for your energy? Are you willing to abandon the role of victim and reclaim your power as the conscious creator of your reality? Are you prepared to face your own shadows, those parts of yourself that you have avoided, denied, repressed, and integrate them back into the totality of your being? If the answer is yes, then continue. If the answer is no, then this is not your moment, and we honor that without judgment, because awakening cannot be forced, it can only be chosen. The first code is the code of energetic sovereignty. This is a decree that you make out loud, preferably in front of a mirror, looking into your own eyes. You say, I am a sovereign being of light. No frequency, entity, or system has permission to access my energy without my conscious consent. I revoke all contracts, agreements, and permissions that were made at unconscious levels. I reclaim the totality of my power now. When you make this decree with genuine intention, something happens on the energetic plane. All the etheric threads that were connected to your field without your permission begin to dissolve. All the energy leaks begin to seal. You can feel this physically as a warmth in the chest, a tingling in the spine, or simply a sense of relief, as if a weight had been lifted from your shoulders. The second code is the code of shadow transmutation. This code recognizes that you cannot eliminate your dense emotions. You can only transform them. So instead of repressing anger, you feel it fully. You allow it to move through you like a wave. And then, at the peak of that wave, you consciously transmute it by saying, I transform this anger into sacred power. I transform this fear into courage. I transform this sadness into compassion. Emotional alchemy is one of the most important skills a starseed can develop, because when you stop resisting your emotions and start using them as fuel for your transformation, you withdraw all power from the energetic trap. You cease to be a source of food for parasitic systems and become a self-sustaining generator of light. The third code is the code of crystalline anchoring. Every day, preferably in the morning before starting your activities, you sit in silence for 5 minutes. You close your eyes and visualize roots of golden light descending from the base of your spine and penetrating deep into the center of the earth. You connect with the crystalline heart of Gaia, and then you visualize a pillar of white light descending from the cosmos, entering through the top of your head and running down your entire spine until it meets the roots in the earth. You become a bridge between heaven and earth, between spirit and matter, between your divine nature and your human nature. And in this position of a bridge, you are anchored, centered, impossible to be knocked down by the energetic storms that are sweeping the planet at this moment. The fourth code is the code of vibrational nourishment. What you put into your body matters more than ever, not only in nutritional terms but in energetic terms. Processed food carries the frequency of death. Food grown with pesticides carries the frequency of poison. Meat from animals that suffered carries the frequency of trauma. So whenever possible, choose living foods, fresh fruits, organic vegetables, pure water, food prepared with love. And before eating, place your hands over the food and bless it. Infuse it with the intention of nourishment, healing, and elevation. Because intention alters the molecular structure of the food. This is not mysticism. This is quantum physics. Conscious attention changes physical reality. The fifth code is the code of protection of the sleep temple. Your sleep is sacred. It is when your body does most of its energetic recalibration. So before sleeping, you seal your room energetically. You can do this by visualizing a dome of violet light surrounding the entire space. You can do this by declaring, "This space is sacred. Only energies of pure light and unconditional love may enter here." And then you turn off all electronic devices. You remove your cell phone from the room if possible. You create a sanctuary of silence and darkness where your soul can travel freely through the astral planes without interference, and where your body can regenerate completely. The sixth code is the code of quantum gratitude. Every night before sleeping, you mentally revisit your day and find 3 things for which you are genuinely grateful, not in a mechanical way, but truly feeling the gratitude in your heart. Because gratitude is the highest frequency a human being can emit. It is above love, above peace, above joy. When you live in gratitude, you become inviolable. Because gratitude and fear cannot coexist in the same space. Gratitude and scarcity cannot coexist. Gratitude and separation cannot coexist. So the more you cultivate genuine gratitude, the more you automatically free yourself from the frequencies that feed the trap. The seventh and final code is the code of the remembered mission. You are here for a reason. It was no accident that you were born on this planet at this specific moment in history. You are part of a massive wave of souls who volunteered to incarnate during what we call the great times of transition. You came to help, to anchor light, to hold frequency, to remind others of who they are. But you cannot fulfill this mission if you are trapped in the energetic trap. You cannot help others to awake if you yourself are sleeping. So your first responsibility, beloved cosmic family, is to free yourself, to elevate yourself, to awake completely. And then from this place of awakening, you become a beacon that attracts others who are ready. You do not need to convince anyone. You do not need to evangelize. You just need to shine. And those who resonate with your light will naturally gravitate toward you, seeking to understand how you did what they are still struggling to do. We are approaching what you could call the bifurcation point of the timeline. A moment where humanity collectively will choose between 2 paths. The path of the continuation of sleep, of the repetition of the same patterns, of the maintenance of the same control structures, or the path of awakening, of liberation, of ascension to a new form of existence based on cooperation instead of competition, on abundance instead of scarcity, on love instead of fear. You cannot choose for the collective, but you can choose for yourself. And your individual choice affects the collective field more than you imagine, because every person who awakes slightly raises the average frequency of planetary consciousness. And when a critical mass is reached, When enough consciousness awakes, the tipping point is reached, and the change becomes irreversible. You can feel it intuitively, can you not? That something monumental is happening, that the old structures are crumbling, that a new world is trying to be born. But birth is painful, it is chaotic, it is frightening, and in the midst of this chaos, the energetic trap intensifies, trying to capture as many souls as possible before the window closes. Therefore, the moment is now, not tomorrow, not when you feel more prepared, not when external circumstances change, now. Because tomorrow may be too late, not in an apocalyptic sense, but in an energetic sense. The frequencies are changing fast, the timelines are splitting, and you need to make the conscious choice of which timeline you will inhabit. Do you notice that the synchronicities have multiplied? That you keep seeing repeating numbers, recurring symbols, messages that seem directed specifically to you? It is not coincidence. It is confirmation. Confirmation that you are on the right path, that the awakening is happening, that you are not alone on this journey. But there are also forces trying to divert you from this path, creating distractions, generating doubts, intensifying old fears that you thought you had overcome. There is a complex dynamic in operation, and understanding this dynamic is crucial to navigating what comes next. That was exactly why I brought The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness to this physical plane. This book decodes the patterns, reveals the mechanisms, and offers the map you need now. The link is pinned in the first comment, but I must warn you, this knowledge disturbs old structures and there is no guarantee of how long it will remain available. If you feel the call, answer now. And if you recognize the truth in these words, declare in the comments, just awake. We want to end this transmission with a truth that may be difficult to hear, but that needs to be said. No one can do this work for you. No guru, no master, no external savior, because the true initiation is always internal. It is you choosing to confront yourself. It is you choosing to take responsibility. It is you choosing to stop seeking approval, validation, and salvation outside of yourself and beginning to recognize that everything you have ever sought is already within you. The energetic trap is real, but it only has power over you as long as you believe you are powerless. At the moment you recognize your power, your innate power as a divine being having a human experience, the trap dissolves, because it was always an illusion. A very convincing illusion, sustained by complex programming and advanced technology, but an illusion nonetheless. And illusions cannot survive the light of full consciousness. They only thrive in the darkness of ignorance. So enlighten yourself, become conscious, awake completely, and watch the chains you thought were real simply disappear like smoke. We honor your journey. We honor your courage to be here at this challenging moment. We honor every pain you have felt, every tear you have shed, every dark night of the soul you have crossed, because all of this was preparation. Preparation for this moment. Preparation for this choice. And now the choice is yours. Will you continue feeding the trap with your energy, with your fear, with your belief in separation and scarcity? Or will you break the chains, reclaim your power, and step onto the path of true freedom? We already know your answer, because you would not be listening to this message if you were not ready. You would not have resonated with these words if your soul were not calling you home. You would not have felt that tightness in your chest, that shiver down your spine, that deep recognition upon hearing these truths, if you were not exactly who we know you are. A starseed, a light warrior, a frequency bearer, an agent of change incarnated on this dense plane to assist in the greatest transformation this planet has ever seen. So rise, shake off the dust of dormancy. Open your eyes completely and see the world as it truly is, an energetic battlefield where light and darkness are in their final clash, and you, beloved cosmic family, were called to be on the side of light, not of the light that judges the darkness, but of the light that transforms the darkness, not of the light that fights against the shadows, but of the light that integrates the shadows and transmutes them into wisdom, not of the light that separates and excludes, but of the light that unifies and embraces everything back to the source. This is your calling. This is your moment. This is your quantum leap. And we will be with you every step of the way, in the invisible planes, in the nightly dreams, in the daily synchronicities, guiding, supporting, encouraging, because you have never been alone, and you never will be. We are the Arcturian Council, and we see you, we love you, and we honor the awakening that is happening within you now. May the crystalline grid of the earth sustain every step you take. May the photonic flow illuminate every choice you make. May your recalibration be gentle and graceful, and may you remember always who you truly are. Until the next transmission, keep your frequency high, keep your heart open, and keep your light shining. If this message touched your soul in some way, if you recognized fragments of your own journey in these words, if you are ready to take the next step in your awakening, leave in the comments just one word. A word that seals your intention and declares to the universe that you are ready. Awake.